If you come back, you will not be trespassing.
Does that include every Tim Hortons in town?
No, that's just one here in Hampton.
Just this one.
Just this one. So if you come back, you're trespassing. There's your ticket. Leave the parking lot now, sir. Let's have another one. Next one goes up to $1,000.
Really?
Yes. You can get up to $10,000.
How many have you given out today?
You're the first.
Well, I feel so good
You're
about
lucky.
that.
You're the first. You're the first asshole I've had.
I have an incredible update to bring you about the case of Walter Matheson. He's our Fight the Fines case from Hampton, New Brunswick, who was ticketed by police in a Tim Hortons parking lot while he ate his muffin and finished his coffee completely alone in his car. He was ticketed for failure to comply with emergency measures. The thing is, Walter did try to comply, but the police officer then stopped him and ticketed him nearly $300 after Walter said, "This is still a free country."
This country is still a free country.
Okay, if you don't move, I'm going to give you a $292 ticket.
Is that right?
Yes.
For doing what?
For not moving in compliance to what I'm saying.
And the cop involved, well, he got particularly abusive, even swearing at Walter at one point.
There's your ticket. Leave the parking lot now, sir. Let's have another one. Next one goes up to $1,000.
Really?
Yes. You can get up to $10,000.
How many have you given out today?
You're the first.
Well, I feel so good
You're
about
lucky.
that.
You're the first. You're the first asshole I've had.
However, Walter brilliantly recorded the interaction and then he gave it to us. Now, I hate being part of this story. I really do. But today, I'm part of the story because we've now received a legal threat letter on behalf of the cop who ticketed Walter. I want to read this letter together with you, and I'll stop as I'm reading to point things that I notice out to you, if that's okay, because I am almost 100% certain this lawyer did not watch the video or read the accompanying website article before firing off this bullying and threatening letter to us at Rebel News. Okay, here it goes. Dear Sir or Madam, regarding Constable John Thompson and article, aggressive bullying by the police. Now, I just want to point out that she got the address wrong. She spelled Eglinton wrong. It's Eglinton, not Ellington. Not off to a great start. Please be advised we represent Constable Thompson with respect to the above cited matter. We understand one of your reporters named Sheila Gunn Reid published an article, aggressive bullying by police. The grammar here, it's not great for a legal letter. There are extra commas just hanging around all over the place. We understand your reporter recorded a conversation without the knowledge of Constable Thompson. No, you definitely don't understand that because I didn't do that. Next time, watch the video before sending off a letter about how bad that video is. I say repeatedly in the video that the recording of the interaction came to us by way of Walter Matheson. He recorded his own interaction with a cop and then sent it to us. I definitely wasn't on the other side of the country, sitting in a Tim Hortons parking lot with a man I absolutely didn't know at the time recording an interaction with a cop. However, even if it were true that I was, and it's definitely not, that's crazy, how does that change anything? It's not illegal to record someone. And it doesn't change the fact that the cop did behave poorly and unprofessionally towards Walter, even swearing at him at one point.
You're the first asshole I've had.
Then the lawyer tells me that I'm mean, kind of. This is unacceptable. Why? It's not illegal. I might have hurt Constable John Thompson's feelings a little bit, but I certainly didn't break any laws by publishing that audio recording, and neither did Walter when he recorded it. Constable Thompson has had 2 death threats as a result. Now, death threats are indeed terrible. I definitely don't condone those. And I get my fair share of them too. I'd advise Constable Thompson to call 911 or the Hampton Police Complaints Line and file a report about them. And if the death threats are really getting out of control, maybe the Hampton police could take someone off the coronavirus muffin eater beat down at the local Tim Hortons to help investigate the spate of criminality directed at Constable Thompson. You know, real police work. In addition, Sheila Gunn Reid repeatedly mentions his name in the article. Oh, do I? Now, the word article is capitalized here for some reason, but this statement is also wrong for a couple of other different reasons. And again, it furthers my suspicions that this lawyer didn't even do 10 minutes worth of watching a YouTube video before she sent this letter to us. First point. Does she think we were supposed to hide this cop's identity? That's not how it works, lady. Now, we used Thompson's name in the name key on the screen to differentiate in the recording when he was talking versus when Walter Matheson was talking. That's for clarity. But we never even wrote his name in the accompanying article with the video. Not even once. I didn't even say the cop's name once in the video. Walter didn't say his name either. Neither did the lawyer I interviewed about the case, Sam Goldstein, because my problem, at least at the time, was truly with out-of-control coronavirus legislation, not so much with the police tasked with enforcing it, except now I do have a real problem with this one specific cop, don't I? Because he just made it my problem, didn't he?
I don't like it any more than you do, but I'm doing a job.
Anyway, let's keep reading this thing. This is defamation of character. Okay, so is this a defamation or libel notice? Because normally that's the first thing lawyers put in these sorts of letters. Lawyers don't normally add that as a throwaway line stuffed into the middle of a legal threat letter. Let's keep reading though. As such, we suggest you remove Constable John Thompson from the article. That's the article in which his name was never really written. Anyway, here's the craziest part though. Are you ready? And return the recording to the Hampton RCMP forthwith. Yours truly, Lutz Longstaff Parish, Carly Parish, acting for Constable John Thompson. This lawyer is demanding that I give my journalistic materials over to the RCMP in Hampton, New Brunswick. That's not how it works, sister. You just can't write a demand letter telling a journalist to turn their materials over to the police because a cop doesn't like a news report that he was in. And this lawyer, she used the word returned as though these materials belonged to the police in the first place. Does the Hampton RCMP know that she's having them participate in the proposed confiscation of my journalistic materials? Now, if I were someone who would comply with this demand, and I think you know I'm definitely not, who at the RCMP station would be dumb enough to take receipt of my journalistic materials on behalf of Constable Thompson? I mean, this is truly insane. It's the kind of thing I bet China tries to pull in Hong Kong, trying to confiscate materials from journalists who write reports on bad cops doing bad things. But this letter isn't even the full story. There's even more. So now we've got this legal demand letter from Lutz, Longstaff, and Parish in Hampton, New Brunswick, over to us at Rebel News headquarters in Toronto. And so Ezra Levant does what any boss would do. He calls up this lawyer to find out what the heck is going on, especially when the letter doesn't actually say it's a notice of defamation or libel. It accuses me of defamation, but that's it. And the letter's making all these weird unconstitutional demands about me turning my journalistic materials over to the RCMP. Now, Ezra, he recorded that call with the lawyer's office because it's not illegal. In fact, it's just good journalism. And you'll note Ezra uses his inside voice, which was a nice touch. Just listen.
That's Longstaff Parish.
Oh, hi. Is Carly Parish in, please?
She's on the telephone at the moment. May I take a message for her?
It's Ezra Levant. E-Z-R-A.
Yes?
Levant. L-E-V-A-N-T.
Thank you.
And I'm calling from Rebel News.
Yes?
And I'll hold.
Okay. And may I have your telephone? Oh, your telephone number, just in case if I lose you.
Oh, you won't lose me, I promise.
Okay. Thank you. One moment, please.
Thanks.
Hello, Mr. Levant.
Hi.
Carly declines to the conversation with you. Thank you and have a good day.
Okay.
Hang on here. You just sent us a legal threat letter wanting me to comply, to turn over my materials to the RCMP and remove any mention of this cop's name from the report, even though it's a concrete fact that belongs in the report. In fact, it's one of the 5 W's of basic journalism. And then you decline to take our phone call about the threat letter? What if we were calling to say that we were going to comply, which we aren't? But what if we were? I think this legal firm just expected this weird letter to be enough to scare us into complying. Well, it isn't. And they would have known that if they had watched the report to see that we have a high-powered legal team that includes Sam Goldstein, a bencher with the Law Society of Ontario. Because besides obviously not taking the 10 minutes to watch the video I made about Walter Matheson, this law firm might have Googled our legal battles, where in the past I refused to be intimidated by Rachel Notley's elections cops, where we took on Justin Trudeau's debates commission and won, where we took on Rachel Notley for banning me from the Alberta government press conferences. We won that one too. So I guess what I'm saying is, bring the noise, Constable John Thompson and the lawyers from Lutz, Longstaff, and Parrish. Let's rumble. Because this letter that you sent us, this proves my original thesis about Constable Thompson. Constable Thompson, you're a bully. You bullied Walter Matheson in a Tim Hortons parking lot, and now you've hired a lawyer to bully me too. But it didn't work on Walter Matheson, and it won't work on me. For those of you who want to see my full report on Constable John Thompson's behavior towards Walter Matheson, please go to fightthefines.com. And if you want to help Walter fight the fine Constable Thompson gave him, you can do that too at fightthefines.com. This isn't over yet. It's so far from over. I'm going to bring you all the news as it unfolds. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. Since all these ridiculous coronavirus regulations kicked in, normal people have been fined for going about their lives, doing perfectly normal, safe things. And we've been helping them fight back. To see all of the cases we've taken on, please go to fightthefines.com. And while you're there, if you're so inclined, please chip in to help them in their legal battles. That's at fightthefines.com.